This video will contain major spoilers for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, so if you're not caught up to the latest episodes, be sure to do that before you go ahead and jump into this video. But let's get started. Hey everybody, we're back with another installment in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and today gave us 3 new episodes, which gives us tons of new figures to make. Now, if you guys want to see how to make all of the basic figures from the first several episodes, you want to check out my part 1 of this. Basically, every week when we get new episodes, I only focus on making new characters and new outfits. That way you're not watching the same video week after week after week. So if you want to get caught up, go back a week. If you want to pick up here, well, let's get into it. Alright, so up first we have Speed Demon and Maria Vasquez, who of course in the comics is Tarantula. Now, it was really cool to see their interpretations here, and it was really interesting to go ahead and make the figures because I assume you're caught up with spoilers by the time you made it to the point in this video, but I used the Doc Ock head for Speed Demon because of like the visor he wears, but then just a couple episodes later, Doc Ock actually shows up. So, you know, I make these figures as I'm watching the episode, and, you know, I don't really know what other visor head I would use for Speed Demon, so let me know what you think in the comments. But regardless, I gave him this flat top blonde hair with this torso that came on Knight Rider, as well as one of the criminals from Spider-Man Homecoming with dark blue arms, tan hands, and then these dual molded legs from the werewolf character from the collectible minifigure series, or actually it's like the wolf costume person, but that way you go ahead and get the blue on top with the gray on bottom that kind of represent like his speed boots. Is it perfect? Not quite, but it's about as close as we're going to get here, and I dig that quite a bit. Now, for Maria, I went ahead and used this hair, which came on Red She-Hulk back in 2017, so admittedly, it is an uncommon piece, but it is perfect for those red highlights in her hair. The head is the 2015-era Black Widow head, with the torso from Lex from Jurassic Park, tan arms, the handcuff method, where we take a pair of Lego handcuffs and cut the chain out of the middle to give some bulk there, with silver, or rather gray hands to kind of show, like, you know, the power-ups that she has on her hands, and black legs to finish out the figure. And our only other new character in episode 3 was Big Donovan. Kind of crazy to see where they're going with the Lonnie storyline. And at first, when they introduced Lonnie, I'm like, oh, he's going to be so nice. There's no way they could make him a villain. Because, of course, in the comics, Lonnie Lincoln becomes none other than Tombstone. But now it seems like they're going to push him into becoming Tombstone. It might take the whole series to get there. Who knows? But anyways, for Big Donovan, I went ahead and used the head from Mr. T from the A-Team LEGO Dimension set years ago with this standard crook torso because I thought it fit pretty well, and of course black legs to finish the figure out. So episode 4 shows us just a real quick news clip talking about the events of Civil War that take place in this storyline. Of course, we don't really meet Captain America or Iron Man in action, but still we do see them, and I thought it'd be fun to pay homage. Technically, we see War Machine, Ant-Man, and Winter Soldier too, but let's just keep it focused on the main two, Iron Man and Captain America. The Iron Man is the comic book style Iron Man we've been getting in sets lately, so no upgrades made there. Then the Captain America is the classic one that came out in 2014, the only change being he has the original Sonic the Hedgehog legs to add some red, white, and blue to the legs and just bring a little more detail and color to the character. So now we'll get into Spider-Man's suit variants. Granted, he doesn't wear them for very long, but this is the Thor suit variant, which was really crazy to see. He's got yellow legs, kind of that bluish-gray hip piece. Then the torso is flipped around. It's from Jurassic World, from the T-Rex fossil set. Then he's got yellow arms, yellow hands, some shoulder armor there that's come in lots of places, a thin Thor cape, and you have to pay no attention to the back of the head because I did use the nail polish remover method to remove the mouth from this because I do think that this is the closest we can get. Yes, it does break the purist method, but you know, with limited piece options for yellow heads with visors printed on them, I do think that this was the best option. I thought that KB from the new Skeleton Crew set from Star Wars would work well, but of course, on that head as well, we would see the mouth, so it wouldn't work perfectly for this, so I went ahead and used this. But let me know what you guys think. Okay, so now for the Hornet Pack suit, I think that this one turned out really cool. It does break the purist method a little bit, but not in any irreparable way. So, these legs come from one of the Surfer characters from Lego City years ago. The torso, of course, comes from Killer Moth from DC with gray hands. Then this wing pack, it's come in several places, but not anytime recently, so it's kind of an older piece. The head is from Batman, but I used a piece of masking tape, if I lift the black helmet off, and just put some blue Sharpie on there to kind of make it look like the visor, because by the time you actually put the helmet on and swivel it into place, it actually looks pretty good and basically exactly what we see in the show. Okay, so we get one more alternate suit for Peter that doesn't ultimately get used all that much because it's a little too scary, and that is kind of like the Night Terror suit here. So we've got black legs, a black torso, black arms, dark gray hands, and the head from Magneto from Mighty Micros, which this is a very simple figure, but I think it works just fine. Then, of course, we get the white suit, which it seems like Peter's going to stick with at least for a little while here, and I think that this turned out awesome. Of course, it's just the anti-venom torso with white legs, and I used a Spider-Gwen head, but I took a very fine Sharpie and kind of traced along her pink eyes, so that way you do get the black instead of the pink. Yes, I realize I broke the purist method a lot in this video, but it kind of seemed like a necessary evil with all of the, upgrades and updates we got to suits and figures here. So sometimes you got to do it, but if you don't want to, break the purist method, I do think that the next best option would be a Spider-Gwen head, but you got to live with the pink lenses. And finally, we see Dr. Otto Octavius. Yes, we see Mac Gargan as well, but I want to wait a little bit before I make him just to see, how the story develops and maybe where it goes. But that being said, of course, Dr. Octopus here uses the original 2013 or 2014 Dr. Octopus for the tour. All right, guys. Well, needless to say, we had so much development in these 3 episodes this week, and it's super exciting to think about where this series is going to continue to go, especially knowing we're not even getting 2 seasons, but 3. It's going to be a great ride, and I'm so excited to see where the show goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.